morning edition. It is now 8 a.m. In the morning. We're up early because we're doing 12 podcasts in one day.
Yep.
This is unheard of. This is unprecedented, ex-president. I'm an ex-president.
There's precedence.
Yeah, it is much. It's literally 3 hours earlier than we usually have podcasts. But I'm like, whoa, it's the fucking morning.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Yeah.
You are watching. You are listening to the podcast Stop It, and I'm your host Zach Peterson, the only podcast host that has the courage to stop it when no one else will. With me today is Denver comedian Jared Chandler. Jared, please tell people who you are and why they should care.
Hello. Thanks for having me, dude. This is so great. I'm Jared. I'm a Denver comedian. I'm originally from Greeley, and I came up in Greeley in Fort Collins. And why should people care about what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. Okay. You should care because I'm doing something, and that's not everybody does stuff.
That's right. Know? That's right.
That's one reason off the top of my head. But I run a weekly show in Greeley at Stella's Pinball. I have a few things popping up. I have a podcast as well called Stretch Yourself.
All right.
It's about stretching beyond your comfort zone. That's something I'm proud of. I also do photography and videography on my Raspberry Cat Productions page. That's where I post all my media stuff, and you should care because I'm trying, and I care.
That's I mean, intrinsically we should care.
Yeah,
that should be our default setting is caring about other people.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I suppose it doesn't make a good podcast.
Yeah, I love supporting people who are doing. That's what my podcast is all about. Is I like to find people who are doing stuff,
right,
and I like to just shine a light on that and learn more about what they're doing. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you talked about your Raspberry Cat Productions. You have the logo for that. I think it's the logo.
Yeah.
You gave me a shirt with that on it.
Yeah.
And that cat looks exactly like my cat.
No way.
Yeah. I have a cat named Touchdown, and it looks just like that. So I wear it a lot. Because I'm like, I pretend it's my cat.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love that name for a cat. Touchdown.
I got a whole joke about it, and people enjoy it. But it was just me and my wife were sending each other lists of names, and that's the one that stood out. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Now we're going to draw from the bucket. And Sweet. If you don't know, listener, watcher, the bucket is what we look into when we want to look into ourselves. It is bucket full of questions. And
wow, you got a lot of questions in there.
Yeah, it's like 1,000.
Damn.
Yeah. Were you ever goth?
I don't think I was ever goth. I went through a Zach and Cody phase in middle school, which I don't think is
goth.
No, but that's the closest I ever came, which was the long hair that would fall in my face, and I would wear the same hoodie every day. And that's basically it. I've always been kind of a sunshine boy,
That's fun. That's fun. I mean, but Zach and Cody, I've never thought about them being goth adjacent. Because they got the swoopy hair, Okay,
but I was never into I don't even know what goth would be like. Some of my friends were more goth than me in middle school with the black hair and black fingernails, I don't know. I don't see very many hardcore goth kids.
No,
these days. Yeah,
I see them more than I used to.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think it'd take to get you goth?
To get me goth?
Yeah. How would you how could we go down the goth road?
What does it take to qualify to be goth?
I think you listen to sad music, industrial music, Baroque,
I sometimes get into that.
Okay.
Yeah. One of my favorite bands is a local banding, shout out the Greeley boys, Underseer. They're some sad boy music, and I like to go. I went to their show at the Moxie recently, and I'll take my hair tie out and let it all hang on my face, and I'll get in the pit and just kind of let people thrash me around a little bit. Yeah, so I can tap into that,
I think you're so close to being goth you don't even know it.
Yeah.
If you just wore just a T-shirt of a band that was something Death corpse or something, slaughter shit, and then and then and then just let the hair down, no snapback.
Yeah,
you're goth.
I'm goth now. Yeah, a little eyeliner.
Right. I mean, that's you. Then you're really into it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think metal and goth, I always found them very adjacent, and I don't know if goth has like a set of ethos like punk. So I don't think there's anything you need to believe besides like death is lurking. But I think everyone believes that, because it's true.
I feel like more when I was in like college and I was so stressed and sad, I was more goth adjacent than where I would because like today I'm wearing my lighter colors, but like I do, especially in the wintertime, I like to wear like dark pants and dark shirt.
And start listening to what is Bauhaus? That's probably a goth band.
Bauhaus?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know what like goth music would be, because I know there's plenty of like, a lot of it has to do with like Baroque and symphony and all that stuff, but also I just associate it with metal.
Yeah.
Where, there's a great one of my favorite metal bands out today is from Denver. It's called Blood Incantation.
Okay.
And they are the best. If I would have known, I don't think they would be goth.
Interesting. Okay.
But they'd be metal.
What about Silverstein?
Silverstein.
I know
that's more emo. Emo and goth, they're like step siblings.
Okay, emo and goth.
Yeah. Because I feel like goth
same dad
is a bit more existential. Yeah. Right. But emo is a bit like more personal. There's existential versus personal dread.
Okay, interesting.
That's my take on it. Obviously, there's no like source material for this.
Yeah, it's all ethereal.
Yeah,
yeah. I would agree with that. I think. Yeah, I feel like definitely in college when I first got into psychedelics is when I was more existentially in dread.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like more like, oh fuck, what am I doing here?
And no one talks about that version of psychedelics where it's like, I took psychedelics and man, I have more questions.
Yeah, you're like, you take psychedelics and then you're just like, okay, I guess I'll just go back to class, because that's matters.
I think like that when people talk about, I took mushrooms and erased my ego, and that's why I'm bragging about how many mushrooms I took.
Yeah,
it's like that's sort of weird. It's because it should be like I took mushrooms and now I'm just very interested in things. That makes more sense, because that is the erasure of ego, is knowing like how little you know.
Yeah, I think the first time you erase your ego, that can be kind of daunting because you spent your whole life building it. And now it's gone. Right. And then you're just like, well, who am I now? Like I just made all this up. Like, and that's kind of scary when you're like, especially when you're younger, I think.
I bet. I've only done mushrooms once and I cried most of the time.
A lot of some big emotions on mushrooms for sure.
Yeah. It felt great though.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's a good release.
Yeah.
whatever you needed to release will bubble up out of you and then it's out.
Psychedelics made me goth. It's made me real sad. Made me emo at least.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. What if there was a drug that just made you goth as shit?
Yeah. Yeah. It's called like scratchy paper or something. You take it and you're just like, what's even the point anymore? You
start listening.
What do you want to get
for
dinner? You're just like, I don't give a fuck.
That'd be a fun time.
Yeah. Oh, there's another kid who took the goth drug.
Would you take the goth drug recreationally?
No.
It's like
I got too much shit I got to balance. I can't let that fall.
It's the opposite of antidepressants. Just a depressant, which is alcohol, essentially. It's alcohol.
Yeah, but it's more permanent. It lasts longer. It's like a psych meds where you have to take them and it takes a while for them to take effect.
Right.
The goth drug is the same way. You take it a bunch and then one day you just wake up and you're just sad. It doesn't matter if it's sun shining out. Everything's gray.
It's like the opposite of antidepressants. It's like if I stop taking my antidepressants, you want to take the goth drug, it's a drug that you don't take.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. I don't like that one. I think that one's too serious right now.
Okay.
Because it's talking about emotions. We're just talking about emotions. We got to get away from it.
Okay.
Do you think I've ever been arrested?
Do I think you've ever been arrested?
Yeah.
I think at least once. Maybe.
I've been chased.
You've been chased?
I've been chased.
No way.
I got caught.
You got away?
I've never been booked.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I've gotten away from trespassing stuff. You know, and a lot of those parties in when you're like 19, 20,
Yeah.
before you can legally drink, you're going to parties and you're drinking, the cops come and you just like fucking scoot out the back.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We used to just like climb on roofs and stuff.
I was into that.
Yeah.
I have a whole arc from climbing on roofs.
I want to hear about that
Okay.
in a second. But the only time I've ever been put in the back of a cop car was because they thought I was someone else.
Oh,
And
interesting.
They just like, they took me to the witnesses, and the witnesses said it wasn't him, and then I went home.
Okay. Wow.
But
That must have been scary, though.
Yeah, I was freaked out. I was like, why the fuck is this cop putting me in the back of his car? Like, you don't know
What the hell? Yeah.
you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell me about, you would trespass a lot. Was it Urbex?
Urbex.
Urban exploring?
Oh, sort of. So my friends and I in Greeley, we got really into, in high school, we got really into just climbing on, like, we started by climbing on like the church that was near my house.
Okay.
We're like, oh, if you climb on that wall, the roof is right fucking there, and you can just like get on the roof. And then we started out with that, and then we would just go roof hopping and climbing, and then pretty soon that evolved into putting shopping carts on top of a roof,
Right?
Because we thought that's we have nothing better to do. Like we got to put our attention towards something,
That's very teenage. Like, we're gonna make people wonder. I'm a wild cosmic jester. Yeah.
That's exactly a wild cosmic gesture. I've never been able to put it to words before, but yeah, that's exactly what we were doing. We were just like, people are gonna look at this and be like, what is going on around here? What's the message? It's on top of a church,
No one shops on the roof. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I got very into that, and like, I was probably the most into it out of some of my friends were like, are you sure can't we just chill here tonight? And I'm like, no, we have a mission. We got to go to put a shopping cart on top of the King Supers.
Where'd you get the shopping carts?
Just take them from King Supers, Walmart, wherever. Just pretend like you're walking out to your car, and then you just go around the building with it. And then one guy, almost every roof has a pipe in the back that goes up and over the ledge.
Right.
And if you're nimble enough, you can climb up that, and then you throw a rope down to your buddy. He ties that around the shopping cart. You pull it up to the ledge. He climbs up, and then you both pull it over together.
A lot of logistics.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a whole Mission Impossible operation. And I got caught not even like doing that. Like I just was like waiting for my buddy one day, and I was like, oh, I'll kill some time and I'll hop on the roof. It's like the middle of the day.
Right.
And I go up there, and I guess somebody heard me up there, because then the property management guy got called, and all of a sudden, like, I look out, and there's like a guy parked in like a gator out there, like one of those, like, it's like a golf cart kind of thing.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, he's blocking me from getting down. And I'm like texting my buddy, I'm like, you need to distract this guy so I can get out of here. And then all of a sudden I hear a guy over on the roof go, hey. And I look over, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. And then I should have ran, honestly, because like once I got down, they're just escorting me to the security office on this gator that goes a top speed of 14 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I could have just hopped off at any point and just sprint, but I was like, oh, I'm caught, like, I'm 17, like, this is it. Like, it's all downhill from here now. And then I just, like, I got like a misdemeanor, and I had to go through like the diversion program where you like, you talk about like how you wasted everyone's time, and you apologize, and you write a letter to like the head of security for Colorado and King Supers, like, got heat from it. So I had to write a letter of apology to him. Like, I'm sorry for for putting, getting heat on you or whatever. And
sorry I did something that makes your job exist.
Yeah, dude, the woman who was like taking me through the program said the same thing. She was like, and who else? And I was like, I guess this affected. And she's like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, but this is your job though.
Right.
Like you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me doing the crime.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave you something to do today. Could have been really boring. But
Yeah.
I was a fucking cosmic jester.
Yeah, exactly. And I never would, if I just didn't do it that day, I just wouldn't have been caught. But we did like 10 different places like that.
Was that expunged from your record?
Yeah, because thankfully I was 17. So like when I turned
right.
18, I became an adult, so it got taken off.
Yeah. And any other being arrested? No. That's good. I mean,
yeah.
And you know, what's the term? But by the grace of God go I. You know, where like you see other people in bad situations, you're just like, oh, that could have been me very easily.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like every time someone's arrested, like that could have been me very easily.
Yeah.
I was a little shit goth teenager, you know, like just stealing and vandalizing and just being a real handful.
Are there more like urban places around here that are like abandoned or whatever that you can go in, or like what were you vandalizing?
Oh, I mean, we were just breaking stuff, spray painting.
Okay.
In terms of places to explore here, my frame of reference is about 25 years old. Okay. So like, I could let you know 25 years ago.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm sure things have changed as
that makes
they
sense.
do.
Yeah,
because I got to be an adult. But we used to always go down in the drainage tunnels underneath Memorial Park.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a real like Stephen King
Yeah, those were fun. Like, we found one in my friend's neighborhood like that, where we were like, "Oh man, this is the coolest!" Like, we're under here, you know. And then it's like, what do you do once you get down there?
Start fires and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah,
that's what we did.
Yeah, some real punk shit, you know.
Well, I think they were cordoned off after a while but I mean, they were in our neighborhood, and we just. You're teenagers. What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because the only thing that you know is you don't want to be around your family.
Right.
And then you go and do stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, what should we do? It's like, I don't know. There's these tunnels you can go through. I
feel like that's like a lost activity now, or lost bonding thing now. Because like, what are kids doing now? You know,
that's I'm 44 and I don't have children, so I have no clue. It'd be weirder if I knew.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. But like, back then I'm sure, and like there's, it's like, we got to get out of the house. Like we got to go find some shit to do out there. But it's like, now it's like, you can just put on your VR headset and just like ignore everybody.
Yeah. I think that's a good point, because it's essentially about having anonymity and creating your own identity. And when you don't have to leave the house to do that, why would you leave the house?
Yeah.
Do kids still hang out in parking lots?
I think they do. It just depends on the area. Like I think it depends on how big the high school is in a city. You know.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember I was in Centennial, and I feel like boring suburban places, there's a lot more parking lot hangs. I feel like.
Yeah. What parking lot did you hang out in?
It was that I hang out in, probably the Walmart one.
Walmart parking lot. That's a classic.
Yeah, because there's a park right across the street too from the Walmart, so you got the best of both.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. 7-Eleven was the one. There was one 7-Eleven in the neighborhood I grew up in. And we just hung out on the side and asked people to buy us cigarettes.
Oh, nice.
And then you go down the street about half a mile, then you're at Memorial Park, which there was like a little like roundabout, and you can park your car, and that's what we did. Then that's where we smoked the cigarettes.
Nice.
Our ill-gotten gains.
Yeah.
And that was like what we wanted to do every weekend. That's all we did.
Oh, hell yeah.
But it was seriously just people skateboarding, listening to music from their cars, and hanging out,
Yeah, totally.
Because I feel like at that age, you just want to not be around your family, because you are venturing out, creating identity, understanding who you are as someone who is not with their family. And I think that's a valuable part of growing up and becoming an individual.
Yeah.
And mine was happened to be just real, smelled like cigarettes most of the time.
Yeah. How old were you when you were first smoking cigarettes?
16, 15.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did till I was like, what, 33, something like that.
Mm.
But it was a different time, too. The 90s cigarettes were a lot cooler.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, now vaping is...
Yeah.
But vaping is worse probably for you health-wise.
I think because you just always have it on you, and you can just rip it whenever. Like indoors, it doesn't matter. Like the cigarettes, it's like you have one, and then you're like, I'm good, and then you got to go out. You got to like schedule that, like you got to take
10-minute.
Yeah, and so like, and the cigarette kind of like you smoke it all the way down, so then you're buzzed and like you're like, all right, I'm good. But like the vape, you can just be like a little puff here, a little puff there.
It's a forever cigarette.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm more on the Zen train now.
Oh, I feel like Zen, besides for the chemical addiction and nicotine, seems pretty harmless.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the cleanest ways to do nicotine. But yeah, the addiction part is the only thing there.
You know what? When I quit smoking for good and quit vaping for good, because I got into vaping to quit smoking, which is a bad idea, the patch worked really well.
Really?
Yeah, because if you're like having one of those, like, because when you're quitting nicotine, you just feel angry. At least for me, you just feel angry and tense.
Yeah.
The patch, like,
just like soothes that the underlying urge, But like for me, like I like the ritual and like especially with the Zins, like the feel of it and the flavor of it. So like that I feel like would be hard to like. It's like, all right, I feel normal, but I don't have the oral fixation part.
They do have nicotine lozenges.
Those taste bad.
Yeah, they do. They gave me a canker sore when I tried them. They're bad.
That's the only thing is like sometimes like if one part of your lip isn't like ready for it and you put it in there, then it'll burn the inside of your lip, and then you gotta be careful around that.
Yeah, why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know. I don't know, because I'm trying to fill some sort of void or need or whatever.
Yeah, but one thing that cigarettes did make me do is just really getting the stimulants all the time. So I'm always drinking coffee, always having a Red Bull and stuff like that. And I know it's it's the same impulse. And I don't know what exactly that is, but I definitely use it.
Some people we're just stimulant boys.
Right.
That's just what we like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, alcohol is the depressant.
The opposite of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the
slower
goth
down.
drug.
The goth drug, yeah.
Oh, this is a good question, specifically because you are from Colorado.
Okay.
And I think this is culturally more prevalent there. You ever get in the Grateful Dead?
I haven't.
Are you not a Grateful Dead guy?
No.
I feel like every time
I didn't have that influence.
No. I feel like that's more of a subculture of person in Denver and in Colorado, more so here. Although there were like the hippie types, jam band types.
Yeah, the jam band types is pretty big in Colorado.
It's much,
Yeah, Fish. It's pretty big.
String cheese incident.
Yeah. I saw one band. It's called Sun Squabby in Wyoming once live, and it was really fun. But I don't. No, I'm just not part of that culture, really.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it as a pejorative either, because I have a lot of good friends who are in that stuff.
Yeah.
I think I just want to understand more what the allure is. And I understand the allure of the Grateful Dead concerts, the Fish concerts. It's communal. Yeah. It's sort of like a cool chill out time with drugs and all that. And it's like, okay, I get why that could be attractive to people. But I don't understand the music. And I like the Grateful Dead. Let me rephrase that. I like two records of the Grateful Dead. They're country records, Working Man's Dead and American Beauty. I like those records a lot.
Okay.
Because they're just regular ass songs. Like if I go to every other Grateful Dead like album and go, "Hey guys, chill the fuck out with this noodly shit. Just write a song and I'll be stoked on it."
Yeah.
But I want more understanding on what makes that, like, not just music that people like, and there's probably are plenty of people that like it, but people see it as a lifestyle.
Interesting. I wonder if similarly, like the EDM culture is like kind of similar in that way, where like people who are into it are super into it, and then people outside of it are like, I don't get this. Like, I don't get why you guys like this. And it's like, I personally, I really like, I'm more into the EDM and like the wub wubs, you know, like side of music. The culture itself, like I would go to concerts in college and stuff, and they are fun. I feel like I just wasn't like, I don't know. I feel like I was like, I was like 0 or 100 a lot, and like if you go too far, then it becomes unfun, and you're just at Red Rocks, and you feel like you're surrounded by people, but you feel kind of lonely, you know, like you're just like, oh, I'm too like strung out or whatever, or like I'm like too like in my head right now, you know, and I feel I do get the appeal though, because I think it just depends. I think it just like when you find your. That's why I love comedy. Like it's just like that's where I feel most comfortable in.
I get that
in place. You know, is like where whether I'm there to perform or I'm there just to hang out and watch a show. That's just where I feel most comfortable. But at a show, like I feel like I don't know what to do with myself sometimes.
Sure.
When I'm just like standing there, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's EDM, then you know you have to dance. You gotta dance.
Yeah.
It's electronic dance music.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And if I was to dance, I would understand that a little bit more. And understand.
You're not a big dancer?
People have to let me know, why is dancing so enjoyable? like that's another thing I don't understand, but like that's, you know.
Well, that's a good thing about the EDM too, is that some songs you don't need, you can just headbang. You don't even need to dance. You can just like, it's like, like you can just kind of do this. Like,
oh, sure.
Yeah. So it's simple, you know.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I was very much in the punk hardcore scene, metal when I was younger, and that was my whole personality.
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like there's sort of a set of ethos that goes along with it, because it's like, you know, we are rebellious against, you know, the zeitgeist, whatever popular culture is. And I guess I don't see an attribution of any of those ethos towards either jam bands or EDM, besides like, let's have a good time, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you identified with that culture more growing up.
I mean, I was an angry kid, so it was of rebellion and, you know, just essentially opposition to what everything else was.
That makes sense. Yeah. It was completely different from like the world that you were being raised in.
Right.
Kind of.
I mean, you think about like bands like Dead Kennedys or, you know, Fear, Germs. Yeah. I mean, all things are like, hey, mom and dad, I'm not just a regular kid. I'm dangerous and weird and angry and dark. Yeah. And I think that's really attractive to someone going through puberty.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the EDM stuff like has taken a wave recently, because everyone, especially with who I was growing up with in college, everyone's like, let's just all like, why do we gotta be worried about anything, you know? Like, let's just, you know, like everyone I grew up, like I went to college, like they love their parents. Like they have like a good relationship with their parents.
Yeah.
And they're
I grew up with mine, by the way. I may
of course.
What I'm saying, it may represent that in a different way, but
no,
just for
I get what you mean, though. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But like you know, good home lives, like and they're all just like, yeah, let's just be together and like just like vibe and chill, you know, like this is so pretty, like wow, you know. And like I would get just like bored like after a little bit. I'm like, okay, like I needed like I'm an addict, you know. That's why I'm like I every show I go to at Red Rocks, I'm like, I wish I was up there.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
Like I want to be up there getting laughs. That's what I want to be doing.
Yeah. Do you think that like the EDM sort of ethos is more along the lines of the jam band hippies of like, let's all get along? And,
yeah.
you know?
If like emo and goth are step siblings, then like EDM and jam bands are right next to each other.
Interesting.
Also, I think
That's interesting. Yeah, because you could, when you watch the movie, you want to get in, not the movie, the show, you want to get into the groove of the music and sort of lose yourself in it. Yeah. In the same way that you can do that in EDM, same way you can do that with jam bands.
Yeah, totally.
So
and
I get that.
I kind of like, I appreciate all of that, like I've like when I went to see Undershear, like in any hardcore stuff, or In the Whale, they're from Greeley.
I've heard that band.
Yeah, I like them too. Like similar thing. Like if you get down there with everybody and you're jumping up and down, you're getting in the pit. Like that's kind of a similar. You're just getting lost in it. You're just letting the. Especially, I feel that way in a pit because you're just a ball of microns, like molecules getting tossed around, like you're all of you is gone. Like you're just part of the crowd,
Well, yeah, it is losing yourself in one way because you're losing yourself in aggression. It becomes almost this like survival instinct because you're around a bunch of sweaty men who are beating the shit out of each other. And you're just like, I got to get through this. I remember that. And there's a lot of times where the adrenaline goes and you're like, everyone's going crazy and it's just, you're focusing on the music and you feel elevated one way or another. And so I totally understand sort of losing yourself with the music that way because that's what I spent a lot of my time doing growing up. Yeah. So that makes sense.
Do you see any parallels to music in genre with like comedy?
I mean,
as far as like style and
maybe like singer-songwriter folk music. Because if you think of like a John Prine, Bob Dylan sort of situation, it's a coffee shop type area. People are sort of using their analytical mind, and people are appreciative of the thought. At least in a perfect world, I don't know how real this is. Instead of it being more romanticized in this way. But I feel like, when I listen to a John Prine, I focus on lyrics, the songwriting, same thing with like a Dylan. And, you appreciate it on that sort of literary level. And I think, good comedy, you can do the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you like, especially as comics, like when you see someone pull something off, like a really good or a really hard joke to stick the landing on, you go like, you might not like let out like a big laugh, but you go, I see what you did there. Like,
exactly.
That was sick. It's like watching a guy land a skateboard trick. You're just like, that was sick, dude. Like
we understand the function. We understand what goes into it. And I think that all sort of art that people experience is low-key emotional manipulation. Because when you think about a song, you write it with an intention in mind. It's like, I want this to make people feel good. I want people to relate to what I'm feeling. So you do everything you can to make sure that they feel that way.
Yeah.
You go see a horror movie, you go to a haunted house, you want people to feel scared, and you do everything to manipulate their emotions so they feel scared, so they feel surprised in whatever way. So comedy is the same thing. You want people to laugh. So what you do is you take your idea and you arrange it into a way where people understand what you're saying and they laugh at that idea. So it's just ways of manipulating people emotionally. Now it's a benevolent way of doing that,
right? Because
emotional manipulation is so much, malevolent. It's that's a bad thing to do if you're doing it consistently. That's how we
normally associate it,
right?
Yeah,
but it is a positive way of creating new emotions for other people. You watch any movie about something, it's like, okay, how do we want the audience to feel about that? And then they go to great lengths to make sure that happens.
And the way that the movie is structured is made so that your emotions, you'll be hooked into it. Like you'll stay with it, This fucking social media is like that, it's all about the hook. It's all about catching your attention right away because you could keep going, and it's all about like grabbing your attention and holding it.
So you're made on the site, so you see more ads.
Yeah.
So they make more money. It's the same thing as like, you ever watch the news and at the end, right before they go to commercial, they're like, 8 people died in this fire. Come back and you'll find out. And you're like, oh, what? No, just tell us.
Yeah.
Like, what is the ethical thing to do? Like to sell more ads or to just tell us about the tragedy?
Right. Yeah. But you can't make money off of just giving it to you. Well,
I mean, Well, that's the big difference.
Read the paper if you want to get the news with no ads.
Exactly. Well, I mean, what is the point of, like, when I think about this, I think about the snow plows in Omaha, which may not make much sense, but right now, they are subcontracted by the city, right?
Okay.
And the job that they do isn't great. Before that, it was slower, but it was by the city. It was done by the city of Omaha, the Department of Transportation. So when they're subcontracted, the actual the goal is to get paid by doing the job. When it is the city itself, the goal is the service. So when the goal is the service is the focus. When the goal is profit, then profit is the focus.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how good the actual service is, the profit is the finish line. But when there is no profit, then the service is the finish line and it's done better.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of the same thing about news. When profit is the focus, then profit is going to be the thing that is focused on, obviously, and it's going to be shown in how we're given the news. I don't know what a news would look like if it was service focused, maybe like the BBC or something. But I assume it would function in a way that would help people more. But this is all.
Yeah, it's all very like it's all competitive. Like it's like divided because it's like them, like two people versus each other. It's like Republicans and Democrats versus each other. Like I turned on the TV at my hotel last night and Fox News was on, and they were just like shitting on the other news stations. They were just like, can you believe this? Like, can you believe what they're saying? And it's just like, okay, is this about you guys? Like, I thought I was here for information, like, so I don't know.
But I think that's a really good point because, like Fox News, like fair and balanced. And the other people are like, Fox News sucks. That's just like Coke and Pepsi being like, Pepsi sucks. Coke sucks. And then, but there's people out there that are just like, oh, I fucking hate Coke.
It's like Pepsi being like, Coke came out with orange cream. Gross. Yeah.
Can you believe
this shit? Yeah. Like, how dare they?
Yeah, because it's the same thing. They're just companies trying to make money.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I feel like comedy is a similar in that vein, like where it's like if you focus on the quality of the show, like it's going to be better for the audience.
Yeah.
It might not be as profitable as you would want it to right away, but if you focus on let's make this the best show possible, then it's going to be good. You know, if you focus on how do we make the most money off of this show, then it's like I don't think that lasts very long.
Then you'd be most likely to make more money, but the show won't be as good because the focus is spent elsewhere. And I think that's good if you go to the micro on that, where the like what does the comedian focus on? Does the comedian focus on getting booked? Or does the comedian focus on
how do I get good?
Get good? Yeah. Or they focus on making money? Yeah. Like as a self-fulfilling prophecy, whatever you focus on, you're probably going to succeed at or succeed more so at. And then that's what kind of comic you become.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. That's good. I don't even know where that one started.
Yeah, me neither.
But we got somewhere else. Yeah. Oh, wow. We got a Tolstoy quote.
Oh, okay.
In case anyone's a big Tolstoy fan.
I've read a couple of pages of War and Peace.
All right.
I've read 2% of War and Peace.
This is a question posed by Tolstoy. Jocelyn, you listening? Tolstoy. Which is worse, the wolf who cries before eating the lamb or the wolf who does not? So I guess the question, to put it in a
interesting,
too long didn't read thing, where it's like, is it better to feel remorse and do nothing about it, or is it better not to feel remorse?
That's so interesting.
Right.
Wow. I feel like I don't have a great example off the top of my head, but like a lot of like the hero's journey type arc, where it's like in a good movie, like the main character will like at the beginning they're like, oh no, okay, here's one. Ghost of Tsushima. Have you played that game?
I haven't.
Okay, so the plot of it is that you're a samurai and the Mongols have invaded your island, and you're most of the samurai have been wiped out, and your job now is you want to get rid of the Mongols out of your island. And so the samurai would be like, we have to do this with honor, and we have to do this with like you approach the gate and you say, fight us, and then you fight with honor, But your character is more like, yeah, that's not, everyone will die if we do it that way. I can sneak in and I can just assassinate these guys.
Right.
It's not very honorable. It's pretty sneaky, but it's how we're going to win. And at the beginning, he really wrestles with that. And because his uncle was such a big influence on him, and he's a samurai. And so like he wrestles with himself, and he's like, I don't know how I feel about this, and his like, what would my uncle think? But at the end of the day, you're just like, I just want what's best for my people. And so by the end, you become a stone cold killer, and you just like, you don't even like think about it. You're just like you take them out, And I think like if the wolf is trying to feed its pups, then why would you feel any remorse? Like this is how I survive. You know?
Yeah. And if you do feel remorse, what purpose does that actually serve?
Yeah.
Besides your own feelings of guilt.
If you didn't have to kill the lamb, then maybe that remorse can make you a better person. Like remorse can help you make better choices and do things that don't like hurt people in a negative way,
Right. But if you're still eating it, that means that the way that you feel has no bearing on your actions in the future.
Yeah.
At least that's how I interpret it.
Yeah, if I do a self-destructing habit and like I feel bad about it every time I do it.
Right.
Then it's like, well, this is just double the hurt. You know?
I mean, would it feel better not to be bad about it and just
be
do
like,
it?
this is just who I am. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Like the ghosts of Tsushima. That's the name of it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, doing it with honor or without honor, like, doesn't matter because you're still killing people.
Right.
Is that just a way of making yourself feel better about what you're doing because you've given yourself this code?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was so I grew up. I was raised Christian Protestant.
Sure.
And like whenever you like jerk off or something, you're just like, oh, I'm a terrible person. Like,
you have to do it with honor.
Yeah. You do it with honor. You read a sexy scene in the Bible, and then it's okay.
I think that's more disturbing than anything else.
Jerking off to the Bible.
Oh no.
No, but like that was like there was so much shame around like
right
sexual nature and it was all about like abstinence and like get married before you have sex, and then you go into the world and you're just like, oh well, that's not realistic, like, and so I'm not gonna feel bad about being sexually active when it's like I don't think this is a bad thing, but I was raised to feel like it was bad.
Right.
So like, growing up you would beat yourself up about having sexual thoughts, and then it's just like, well, this is just and I feel like that's how like we've seen it before, where it's like, that repression manifests into this like ugly like thing that like that's why there's all these scandals out there, is because like it's like repression. Don't be gay, don't be sexually like attracted to unless you're married, and like and I feel like I don't know, like the narrative around it just makes it worse. Whereas like if we taught people like, hey, this is normal, like you're gonna feel this way, like
it doesn't create an honest way of communicating with yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it creates a sort of a disruptor about what is right, what is wrong, and instead of focusing on sort of the naturalistic view of sexuality and on how you feel and how it affects others, there is already context that is put in there, fairly or unfairly.
Yeah.
But it will affect it, and it can a lot of the time when it does contradict how you actually feel, then there is great shame, and then there's a lot of you can't honestly come to terms with it, because that would be that feeling is the feeling of guilt of the wolf, and it's like, and what does it do besides make you feel bad?
Yeah.
You know, and it does it
feel
serve
bad,
a purpose?
and then it's a cycle that you keep repeating that.
Right. And going back to the initial question, is it worse? So I mean, I guess we've come to like, is it worse to feel bad about something that you do, or just do it and not feel bad? Because not feeling bad gives the idea that we are unfeeling, that we do not know or care that it is a bad thing that we do. Like, you know, because in this situation, the killing of a lamb, that's probably something you don't want to do. That you know, the taking of a life is always bad. So is it better to not have any remorse about it, or is it better to have remorse and still do it? See, I don't think there's a right answer.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
But I think it's an interesting question.
Yeah, it is. I've never heard that before.
I did only when I put it in there, but I don't remember it.
If I were to take this literally, and if I was like a farm boy or something, and I grew up in a different time, I feel like as a kid, like if I had to kill an animal, I would feel bad.
Right.
And I would feel bad because I don't want to do it, you know? But then, you know, you become like a father or like someone who has to provide, and like you maybe like don't want to do it still, but you're not going to feel bad because that's a waste of time.
Sure.
Like
sure.
I don't got time to feel bad about every animal I kill because I got to kill a bunch of them. I mean, that's like, I got to do this. Like,
and if it serves no purpose rather than your own guilt, then I tend to agree with that. Yeah,
if it serves no purpose to you, then maybe it's not necessary. But if it does serve a purpose, and maybe that's like changes like who you want to be in the world,
sure.
Then neither one is good or bad. I don't think. I think it's just about making a choice and like,
gotcha.
Who do you want to be? You
absolutely,
know?
Absolutely.
Do you want to be the guy who feels bad if a lamb dies, or do you want to be like, okay, you go you go be in your feelings. I gotta put food on the table.
Yeah, well, it's about the inaction of not doing anything. That's the thing. Where it's like, if you feel bad and you change your behavior, okay, good.
Yeah. But feeling bad and not doing anything, that's not great.
I feel like that's worse.
That's worse.
Jocelyn, how are we for time?
I think
we're at 45. Okay,
we're
cool.
Crushing it.
Cool. So make sure. Okay, this is going to be the last question.
Okay.
Go ahead and like plug what you need. Need to plug. How can people find you?
Sure.
How can people check out your comedy?
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. Jared Chandler on YouTube, at _Jared Chandler on Instagram, and Raspberry Cat Productions on Instagram and YouTube.
Word. Great. Also, we have a viewer question. So if you are a fan of the show, if you watch, you can go to stopitpod.com and submit your own questions. Like Pete here. This is a question from Pete Sakaris. You know, he's mentioned on the show a handful of times. If your favorite dead celebrity, musician, etc., were alive, what do you think they'd be doing in this environment? Like, and so, like, say you were a big fan of Beethoven or Mark Twain or Kurt Vonnegut or something like that. How do you think that they would deal with 2025?
Oh, that's a good question.
First off, I guess the first part of the question is, who's one of your favorite dead celebrities, musicians, or stuff like that you sort of have a real connection to?
The first person that popped into my head was Robin Williams.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I think he would be stunning in this day and age.
I concur. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that long. It was only like a little over a decade ago that he died, but I feel like even today, like, he would just be so great. Like, like he would continue to put out cool shit that people love, and
right.
I think he would still be thriving, honestly.
Though I think the world has changed so much since 2015. I think a great deal, and you know, Robin Williams has always had a large amount of work out there. Do you think he would focus more on like movies and putting out like family stuff, like a Mrs. Doubtfire or Bicentennial Man, sort of stuff, or would he like maybe go political and be more of his stand-up self and sort of focus in on that because of the way things are sort of heading right now?
I think so. Like, I think of like two different arcs. So there's like Jerry Seinfeld, who like had this great career, and then he like, he's like, oh, I'll do a Cars podcast or whatever, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna disappear for a little bit, and then he comes back and is doing stand-up again. There's that, and then like there's Louis C.K., who like had a big arc, and now he's like writing novels and stuff. And I think I don't know, I think Robin would be touring and maybe like writing books and like doing more intellectual, like, like more calm, less manic stuff.
Sure. Yeah, and the more you think about Robin Williams, the more you sort of remember such the large amount of like legendary work that he's had, and it sucks that I'm sure there was at least 4 or 5 true classics left. If he continued to work, like
totally,
movies, jokes, stand up.
I bet he would put out some like really good like dramatic films that like make you cry.
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
What's another
Dead Poets Society?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, The World According to Garp. I don't know if you ever watched that one, but that's one of my favorite ones about him. And very prescient if you're a fan. John Irving, the guy who wrote like October Sky and Center House Rules. It was him and John Lithgow and Glenn Close. Hell of a movie.
Hell yeah.
Hell of a movie. Yeah, that's it, and one of his gems that like, and I think that sort of got lost. I think I forget who directs it. Maybe me. It doesn't matter, but
such a long career and just like so full. Like he would do it all.
Not even to mention Aladdin.
For real.
Like I mean, like comedy stuff.
Yeah, like he did everything from comedy to like the more dramatic side of things, and like. My favorite working comedians are like that. Like they do it all. Like like Bill Burr, like he like such a prolific stand-up, but then also and like does funny series and comedy, but then he'll also like be in like Star Wars, and he'll also do like what was that? It was like the Dad's movie that was really funny. I forget what it was called, but
Bill Burr in a Dad's movie.
Yeah, it was like Old Dads or like
Grumpy
Dads or something like that. Yeah.
When you mention Robin Williams, I recently watched this documentary about John Candy. Like imagine if John Candy was alive today, and the amount of work that he would have done from the 90s and from when he passed to today, and he's one of those guys. He's one of the only like celebrities that when they passed, it really hurt me.
Really,
I love John Candy. Yeah, and like that's one of those guys that really.
Yeah,
could have had a lot of really
look
great...
at Steve Martin Short.
Right.
They're still kicking it, and they're putting out great stuff.
Only Murders in the Building is really good.
It's so great. Yeah, it's good for everybody.
Exactly.
Like there's something in there for everybody.
I don't know. Martin Short's been funnier to me until that. Because I mean, what you have like Three Amigos, you have Clifford, you have. Like Ed Grimley, SCTV,
Santa Claus 3
stuff. Yeah, I mean, but they've always been good. But I think Only Murders is one of my favorite characters he's ever done.
He's so funny in that.
He's great. He's great.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, Zach, thanks for having me.
Of course. And thank you for watching and listening. You have been listening to Stop It, and now you can stop it.